Second Corinthians chapter 10 verse 5. I just made a video about Second Corinthians chapter 10 verse 4. Verse 4 talks about strongholds. Now this one is talking about your thought, your mind. So Second Corinthians chapter 10 verse 5. Casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. So right here is telling us that we are to cast down everything that goes in our mind that is not of God. We need to cast it down. We need to rebuke it. And we need to hold it captive to obedience to Christ. So you need to guard your thoughts and also to examine them to make sure they are obedient to Scripture. Submitting all thoughts and ideas to Christ. And then I'm going to show you how you can do this. So obviously, the devil loves to attack everybody in their mind. He likes to attack in their mind right here. If he cannot attack you to fall into sin, into doing something that you used to do before, if he can't get you to do it again, he's going to attack you in your mind. He's very good at attacking people in the mind. When you start feeling doubt, when you start thinking doubt, like, no, I don't think that's from God, or you start like falling away from faith, like, you know what, I don't think what people are teaching is true, I don't think it's God. The devil, he plays with our minds if you allow him to. And Luke chapter 10 verse 19, it tells us that God has given us all power and authority to come against the devil and his demons. All power and authority. Read it. Luke 10:19. So we do have power and authority over the devil. If you think you don't, you really need to read the scripture. But the devil will mess with your mind because he doesn't want you to know that. So I'm going to give you some examples of what you can say to cast down these imaginations, submit them to God. Okay, so whenever you start thinking doubt, or you start thinking about something negative, or you're thinking something like, man, that person was talking about me, and you're thinking in your head what you're going to go tell them, that you're going to tell them off, you're going to do something. That's what the devil wants you to think. The devil wants to rob you from your peace, and he wants you to work your mind, get mad, get angry, get frustrated. That's what the devil wants you to do. Remember, whatever comes out of people's mouth, they already had it in their head. So make no mistake when somebody says, oh, I didn't mean to say that. No, they did, because they thought it. It has to be here before it comes out of your mouth. So don't let the enemy rob you from your peace. Though I'm going to show you what you can do to fight against the enemy when it comes to your mind. So what you can say is, when you start thinking, for example, if you start thinking something negative, like, I'm going to go cuss out that person because they parked in my parking spot. First of all, be like, hold on, I shouldn't be doing that. So you gotta break and be like, okay, I shouldn't be doing that. So you can say, I submit my thoughts to Christ. You don't have to say it out loud. Just say it in your head, in your mind. Be like, I submit my thoughts to Christ. I submit my thoughts to Christ. Another thing you can say, I cast down all imagination thoughts that are not from God. If you have to repeat it in your head, say it over and over and over. Make it a practice. because the enemy is always going to attack us in our minds every day. Another thing you can say is, I hold my thoughts captive. Say it, say it, say it. And then another thing, I surrender all of my thoughts to Christ, meaning that you are telling God to take control of your thoughts. So I hope that you put that into practice whenever you start having these thoughts in your head, when you're thinking negative things, or anything that has to do with your mind that is not of God. You know is not of God. You should know what's good and what's bad. You should know, like, we're human. We know, we are adults. We should know, like, just general stuff. Like, should you be cussing out a person? No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't even be saying bad words, because you're putting a curse over that person. You shouldn't be saying bad words, even in your head. I know sometimes it might slip out of your mouth, but if you ask God to help you with that, He will help you. So yeah, so remember, submit your thoughts to Christ. And again, that was 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 5.